I used to think the goal was to float somewhere above all of this, above the body, above the mess. Used to chase a lightness that asked me to leave the room instead of stay and address what was actually happening here, in this life, in this skin, in this exact unglamorous now. Today I am practicing something harder than transcendence. I am practicing staying, somehow. There is a version of spirituality that taught me to leave my body at the first sign of pain, to float up and out, to call it awakening, to call the leaving a gain. But I am starting to wonder if the leaving was ever really about becoming more free, or if it was just a beautiful word for the same old habit of not letting myself be. There is a pull sometimes to imagine a different life instead of feeling this one. There is a pull to call that imagining spiritual instead of calling it what it might also be, a leaving. Staying does not mean nothing is wrong. It only means I am here for it. I think of every meditation I used to do just to escape the room I was actually in. Every visualization that took me somewhere else instead of somewhere within the life I was already living, the body already holding me up. I am not against imagination, I am only questioning what it's often used to interrupt. I plant my feet a little more firmly tonight, not reaching for anywhere else, not reaching for flight. I let this floor hold me exactly where I already am. Staying is its own kind of practice, its own kind of calm. I am not saying every desire to leave is wrong. Some leaving is simply necessary and true. Sometimes a life or a room or a relationship really isn't right for you. But I'm learning to ask the difference between leaving towards something real and leaving because staying asked me to actually feel.
What? Me?
I used to think roots meant I was stuck, meant I couldn't grow. But a tree with roots reaches higher than one that lets every wind simply blow. Wherever it happens to drift, wherever it happens to land, I am learning that staying rooted is not the opposite of expanding. Some nights the pull to leave will come back stronger than tonight, and I will feel it clearly, and I don't have to pretend I have permanently outgrown it, permanently and completely. I only have to notice it when it arrives and choose again in that exact moment to stay. Staying is not a place I arrive at once. It is something I keep choosing day by day. This much tonight, a floor beneath my feet, a breath I don't rush. This much is enough to call staying. Tonight I am soft enough to stay, not hardened into staying out of fear, not forcing myself to remain, just soft enough, just willing enough to let this moment be exactly where I let myself finally actually be. A tree does not become more free by leaving the ground. Its freedom is in how deep it is willing to stay. You have been treating this body like a lobby. You're passing through on the way to somewhere realer. This body is not a waiting room, and I have been treating it like one for longer than I realized. Somewhere to pass through on the way to a lighter, more evolved, more finally realized version of myself, somewhere up ahead, somewhere not here, not this, not now. Tonight I am practicing arriving in this actual body, right here, somehow. I used to think the body was the obstacle, the heavy thing keeping me from rising. Used to treat every ache, every limitation as something needing exercising. Instead of simply listening, instead of simply staying long enough to understand what this body was actually asking for. Resting my weight in its hand, there is a pull to imagine a lighter, bodiless version of peace. There is a pull to call the body a prison instead of a home that deserves at least a little grace. Staying in the body does not mean loving every part of it perfectly. It only means staying. I think of every year I spent trying to transcend hunger, transcend tiredness, transcend need, as if the body's asking was something lesser, something to outgrow, something to succeed past, instead of a language I could actually learn to understand and trust. I'm tired of treating my own body like something I have to eventually adjust. I let my feet feel the floor beneath them tonight. I let my breath move exactly the way it wants, without needing to make it right. This body's not a waiting room, it is the only room I actually have, and I am staying in it gently, without needing to be brave. I am not saying I love every ache, every limitation, every tired human part. I am only saying I am done leaving before I even try to start understanding what staying here in this exact body might actually teach. I have spent so long reaching for elsewhere, so long trying to reach. What? I used to think the body was something to eventually leave behind, but the body is not a costume, it is not something separate from my mind. It is the actual place where my whole life is happening, second by second, breath by breath. I am learning to stay in it fully, not just until death. Some days this body will still feel like too much to bear, too heavy, too tired, too here. And I don't have to love it perfectly on those days, to still choose to stay near, enough to listen, near enough to notice what it's actually asking of me. Staying does not require constant comfort, it only requires I keep choosing to see this much tonight. A body I don't leave, a room I don't flee. This much is enough to call home tonight. I am soft enough to stay in this body, not because it is perfect, not because it never aches, just soft enough, just willing enough to let it be the actual home it has always quietly been for me. A house is not less of a home because it has cracks in the walls. You do not have to leave it to love it. You keep waiting for your real life to start. This has been your real life the entire time. This life is not a detour, though I have spent long stretches of it waiting for the real one to begin. Waiting for the job, the relationship, the version of myself that would finally let me settle in. Somewhere that actually counted. Somewhere that finally mattered. Somewhere real. Tonight I am practicing believing that this, exactly this, is what real life is meant to feel. I used to live like this chapter was just a placeholder, just a warm-up before the actual start. Used to keep some part of myself packed and ready to depart. The moment something better came along, something worthier of my full attention, I am tired of living half here, waiting for a life that requires no mention. There is a pool to imagine. Your real life is somewhere else, sometime else. There is a pull to treat the present as a waiting room for a future that finally counts. Staying does not mean settling. It only means actually living the life you are already living. I think of every ordinary Tuesday I rush through, waiting for something more important to arrive. Every quiet morning I treated like a delay instead of proof that I was actually alive. Right then, in that exact unremarkable moment, in that exact unremarkable room, I am tired of measuring my life against some imagined bloom. I let this ordinary evening be enough tonight. I let this actual life, exactly as it is, hold its own weight in life. I am not waiting for the better version to finally begin. I am staying here, in the one I am already in. I am not saying I don't want things to grow, to change, to become more than they are today. I am only saying I don't have to leave this moment to let growth find its way. The future can arrive without me abandoning the present first. I have spent so long treating this life like a thirst. What roots me? I used to think staying present in an unfinished life meant giving up on more, but presence is not the same as settling. Presence is simply keeping both feet on this floor, while still reaching, while still growing, while still becoming whoever I am becoming. I am learning that staying and growing were never actually two separate things. Some days this life will still feel unfinished, still feel like a draft instead of a final page. And I don't have to feel resolved about that, to still refuse the old habit, the old cage of waiting for a better version before I let myself actually live inside this one. Staying is not about finishing, it is about showing up before anything is done. This much tonight, an ordinary evening, unhurried and mine. This much is enough to call a life. Tonight I am soft enough to stay in this life, not because it is finished, not because it is perfect or complete. Just soft enough, just willing enough to let this exact life be the real one, the actual one, the only one I need. You do not have to wait for the story to get better, to be inside the story. You already are. Staying is not weakness. It is one of the bravest things a soft thing can do. I'm soft enough to stay tonight, and I am learning that softness was never the same as weakness. Softness is what let me finally stop treating my own life like a sickness. To be cured by leaving, by floating, by imagining somewhere else instead. Softness is what let me finally lay my whole self down on this actual, unremarkable bed. I used to think staying required a kind of hardness, a gritted teeth, endurance. Used to think softness and staying were opposites, that softness meant surrendering to whatever tried to push me out of my own body, my own life, my own room. But softness is what actually let the staying happen. Softness is what made space, not doom. There's still a pull sometimes, quieter now, to imagine somewhere easier than here. There's still a pull to call, leaving enlightenment instead of calling it fear. Staying does not mean the pull disappears. It only means I don't have to follow it every time. I think of every soft thing that has ever managed to stay through something hard. Water staying liquid under pressure, instead of turning to ice to guard itself against the weight. Staying soft, staying itself, staying true. I am learning that kind of staying, the kind that doesn't have to turn hard to get through.
I let myself be soft
and still here tonight.
I let softness
be its own kind of quiet, grounded might. I am not leaving, I am not hardening, I am simply remaining soft enough to stay without pretending. I am not saying I have fully arrived at this. I still feel the pull some nights, some days. I still catch myself imagining an elsewhere, a different set of ways my life could be unfolding, somewhere lighter, somewhere less complicated and real. But I keep coming back to this body, this room, this exact way I feel.
I used to think roots
were something I was born with or without, something fixed and given.
But I am learning roots
are something I grow by choosing again and again to keep living inside my own actual life instead of the one I imagine somewhere else. Roots are built one stayed moment at a time, one unfled self. I will not always feel this settled, this willing, this soft enough to remain. There will be nights the leaving looks easier, looks like relief instead of pain. And on those nights I will simply try again, not perfectly, not without struggle. Staying soft enough to stay is not a single choice. It is a quiet, ongoing shuffle. This much tonight, soft presence, unhardened and here. This much is enough to call staying. Tonight I am soft enough to stay in this body, in this life, in this exact unfinished way. Not because I have to, not because I am trapped here, but because staying finally feels like the truest kind of pause. Softness does not mean giving in. Sometimes it means being pliable enough to stay standing in the wind that would have broken something rigid.